Tonight, the King 5 investigators are getting results less than 24 hours after airing their first report in the series School of Broken Promises.
The Department of Labor and Industries has paid millions to an online, unaccredited school in Renton to retrain injured workers. It's a school that's received more funding than any other school in the state. Susanna Frame joins us now with more on what she's uncovered and how lawmakers are already responding. Susanna.
That's right, Greg and Jessica. I heard from Representative Mike Sells of Everett. He's planning a work session in Olympia to look further into office careers, the school at the center of our investigation. And tonight we've dug up more than a dozen court cases where judges have found office careers and the state of Washington blew it, leaving workers injured on the job in the lurch.
Okay, open sesame.
After nearly 3 decades as a machinist at Boeing, this is where Ed Buchanan of Whidbey Island tried to reinvent his career at home on this computer given to him by Office Careers, a private online vocational school based in Renton.
Come on, computer, do something. Okay.
Buchanan has debilitating nerve damage in both elbows and carpal tunnel, injuries he got at Boeing. The state paid $15,800 in tuition so Ed could go from machinist to receptionist.
I am not a receptionist.
Buchanan kept daily logs during his course. The notes show a student lost and miserable. I've yet to finish a lesson. I'm terribly confused. The instructor skims and acts as if I'm computer literate. I don't understand. This is a waste of time. I've gotten nothing accomplished.
I wasted 2 hours a day, 5 days a week for however long I was in that thing.
It was a year-long program, and at the end, regardless of his rocky performance, the school issued Buchanan a certificate in computer clerical training, and the state issued a finding. He was now employable and ended his worker compensation benefits. You have a certificate. It looks good. Do you think anybody would hire you today to be a receptionist?
If it was on skills, hell no.
No way.
No way. Not in the least. That certificate means nothing.
State Industrial Appeals Court judges agree. In the last 6 years, 15 disabled workers with benefits cut off after attending Office Careers appealed the state's decision. And every single time, the worker won. 100% of the time, judges ordered L&I to reverse its decision and reinstate benefits. In Beverly Wasson's case, a judge found she took the course but didn't acquire the skills necessary to perform the job. Marnie Thorvaldsen testified when she didn't understand, she was just moved on to the next thing by the instructor. The judge wrote there is a somewhat dubious nature to the online program. Is this a big waste of taxpayer dollars?
Absolutely.
Elizabeth LaPlay is a veteran injured worker attorney. She says those legal decisions should be glaring red flags for top L&I officials who continue to sign off on Office Careers retraining programs.
They know it's not working. They've been told it's not working. We're telling them it's not working, and they continue to do it.
Francisco Navarro of Linwood showed us the scars on his shoulder from 3 surgeries. He got injured at Microsoft, delivering heavy boxes of food on the campus for 10 years. After receiving this certificate from Office Careers, L&I terminated his benefits. His state-hired counselor said he'd be an excellent candidate for motor vehicle dispatching with his new computer skills, knowledge of the area, and ability to communicate fluently in English.
Yo no hablo en inglés.
Francisco Navarro doesn't speak English, and he says both Office Careers and L&I knew it.
¿Qué piensas de esta escuela?
Yo no aprendí nada en Office Careers.
I didn't learn anything at Office Careers. It wasn't a secret. The teacher spoke Spanish to me. They knew that every meeting with the state counselor or doctor, I have an interpreter. They know I don't speak English.
Navarro appealed his decision and won, and the judge found something else disturbing about the case. He wrote, the evidence shows Mr. Navarro did not complete the program, but he was given a certificate anyway.
If it's accurate, it's a huge concern.
Rich Wilson oversees the Injured Worker Retraining Program for Labor and Industries. He says the state still uses office careers because there's no concrete proof of major problems there. But handing out certificates without completing the program, he says that's over the line.
If this is true, it's absolutely wrong. The workers deserve better than that. You know, everyone in our system deserves better than that. We're paying for this education.
The state doesn't have to take our word for it, or the judges.
So you're admitting that?
David Jordan, the owner of Office Careers, confirmed to me that's happened.
Have you given out a certificate when someone didn't complete the program?
The certificates typically represent the effort of the student put into the program, and we want to reward them in that you did try here.
Some people might even think that's falsifying a record.
Ultimately, it comes down to the employer making a decision as to how to use that document, how to evaluate the candidate that they're going to hire.
Instead of getting a job, Francisco Navarro said he got this piece of paper from Office Careers and shameful treatment from the state of Washington.
Quiere deshacerse de mí.
I think the labor and industry just wants to get rid of me. They want my case closed. Just get me out of there. I'm absolutely sure about that.
And since our first story aired, more former Office Careers students have contacted us, all with similar stories to the men you just watched there in our story. One disabled worker from Lakewood, this one stood out to me. He told me today that he too did not complete the curriculum, but he got a certificate anyway, and his benefits were cut off. And I'm hearing something over and over, like I did today from this gentleman in Lakewood. A lot of these people get depressed. They go into a depression, even think about taking their own lives because they're taking this course. They can see they're not going to pass, and they know what's at stake. If I can't get a job, they're going to, if I pass, they're probably going to cut me off. And then where will I be?
And not to mention, they don't even have those skills to move forward with their own lives.
Right.
So obviously this investigation just kind of getting going as far as all these people are coming forward. We have more cases. So what's next?
Next, we're going to take a look at how the state's own experts a couple of years ago warned Labor and Industries about this specific school, and it's taking quite a while for things to be implemented.
The water's churning now, though, isn't it? Okay, Susanna.
Phones are lighting up.
Yeah, keep us posted.